Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you by MegaPixx Media. Joining me today is Gillian Mandich, who is a happiness expert. And Gillian, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this coming weekend. It's Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. How can we be thankful during times like these?
Yeah, I think that Thanksgiving has always been a time for us to reflect and to celebrate the things that we're grateful for, the things that we appreciate. And one thing that the pandemic has done is it's amplified that, because I think for a lot of people, things that we maybe used to take for granted, we have a different appreciation for. For example, going for dinner, going for a walk, going to the movies. And so as difficult and challenging as this time has been, at the same time, one of the silver linings is that we are, having Thanksgiving more often than just on Thanksgiving weekend, because we are noticing that people are more grateful for things throughout the day. And what we know from the research is that gratitude and happiness are highly correlated. So the more that we can do things and reflect on things that we are grateful or thankful for or appreciate, oftentimes that then accompanies more feelings of happiness as well.
So why is there that need for people to be grateful and be thankful?
Yeah, I think that sometimes it feels like just something that we do, or even like in my family, for example, we have a tradition at Thanksgiving dinner where we go around the table and we all share things that we're grateful for. And it can kind of sometimes feel like a forced activity that my mom is making us do. And yet, I think it's important to realize that it really does have more of an impact than that on both our mental and our physical health. So when we look and we compare people that are more grateful to people that are less grateful, people that are more grateful and tend to be happier, and people that are happier tend to have, from a physical health perspective, things like lower rates of cardiovascular disease, stronger immune systems, they heal faster from injury. So we do see physical benefits, but also I think sometimes reminding ourselves of the mental health benefits as well. People that are more grateful tend to have more hope, tend to be more optimistic, tend to not just take things for granted, tend to be more present, tend to have better relationships with other people. So there are so many benefits beyond just sort of the activity of going around the table or just taking time to think about what you're grateful for.
Okay, but it's tough though, isn't it, for people when they're going through chaotic and crazy times like we are today, right? Where almost every day something new is happening that kind of throws things out of whack in their world. It's tough for people to have that sense of gratitude, isn't it?
It really is. It absolutely is. And, I think sometimes too, especially when things aren't going well, it can be difficult to find something that we're grateful for. But what's really interesting from the research is that it's not even so much the outcome that's the key piece of a gratitude practice or thinking about what we're grateful for. It's the searching piece. It's taking time to evaluate or to reflect on what we're thankful for. So it doesn't even necessarily matter what it is that we choose or we find or we decide, but do the practice in and of itself of looking for things that we're thankful for. That's where sort of the potent part of the practice is.
And so what would you recommend for people? Obviously, as you mentioned, there's a lot of physical, mental, emotional benefits to having this sense of gratitude and Thanksgiving. How would you, not to make it a mechanical, robotical thing, but what would you suggest to people if they embarked on this journey of gratitude?
Yeah. So a couple things. I think to your point about not just having it be like an item on my to-do list, like I'm thankful for my family, check. A couple things that you can do are, one is getting descriptive. So the more you can describe it, like who in your family, why are you thankful for them? And then if you can involve different senses, that can be a really powerful way as well. So, say for example, you love cooking Thanksgiving dinner with your mom or your sister. Then how does it smell when the turkey's coming out of the oven? How does, the pie that's coming out of the oven smell? How does it taste? So engaging some of our senses. And then with gratitude, one of the things is that we're adaptive creatures. So trying to think of different questions from time to time. So maybe one day thinking about people that you're grateful for, and a different day things that you've learned that you're grateful for, or body parts, or different things like that, work related things, personal things, mixing it up and looking for different areas of your life where there's things that you appreciate is a really powerful way to help increase the potency of the practice.
Yeah, and a lot of people have things like a gratitude journal, right, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
That they use. Or
Those could be great too for making it into a habit, because one of the other things about gratitude is it's something that slowly builds over time. And so one of the ways that we can try to make sure that we remember to do it is to make it a habit. So if you have a gratitude journal and you leave it beside your bed, maybe in the morning you do it, or when you go to bed, or some people, like families, often will like to make a gratitude jar. That can be a really interesting way, a visual reminder of it. Or some people actually like to use an app, because then it'll send like a push notification that reminds you to do it. So different things work for different people. So it's really about trying on different things and finding a way that you can make it a habit.
Okay, super. Well, thanks very much, Gillian, for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm grateful that we had this conversation. So thank you very much.
There you go. That was Gillian Mandich, who is a happiness expert in Canada. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business, brought to you by MegaPixx Media. Thanks for joining us.